Thank you for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguila. President Bola Tinubu has signed the bill for the establishment of Federal University of Environmental Technology, Ogoni. President Tinubu says this is a demonstration of commitment to the cause of the people of Ogoni and their well-being. State House correspondent Musbahu Danwab reports.
In the history of agitation for environmental remediation and sustainable development in Nigeria, Ogoni community readily comes to mind. Their clamor for action has been loud for decades. Some of the voices have even been lost along the way. But this administration would again prove to be the one that hears cries and assuages plights. In the series of efforts to resume the oil exploration, which has been on hold for decades in these oil-rich endowments, this moment comes as significant and decisive. A bill that has endured since 2019 and the National Assembly finally received the most expected attention.
Thank you, Excellency, Mr. President.
For President Bola Tinubu, this is more than just establishment of a citadel of learning.
It's more than the creation of a university. It is the reaffirmation of our unwavering commitment to the people of Ogoni, the Niger Delta, and the entire nation as a whole.
The president says his administration is fully committed to the healing processes that guarantee sense of belonging for all parts of the country.
By signing this bill into law, we are taking a decisive step towards addressing historical grievances and creating new opportunities for learning, growth, and prosperity. The university will serve as a center of excellence, equipping young Nigerians with the knowledge and skill to tackle present environmental challenges, drive clean energy solutions, and contribute to our national sustainable economic development.
The signing of this bill into law by His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, demonstrates a strong commitment to addressing long-standing concerns and fostering a sustainable development in Ogoniland and Nigeria.
The university will support our oil and gas sectors by creating middle-level and high-level jobs to the community.
For the Ogoni leaders, this is a reassuring moment that signals a new dawn for their communities.
And it is our duty to sustain this beacon of hope for future generations. I therefore call on the Ogoni people to share their swords and remain peaceful yet vigilant as the ongoing dialogue process progresses.
The hopes of the Ogoni people are clearly being renewed under this administration, and the negotiation between the federal government and the leaders of the Ogoni community continues under the coordination of a National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. And apparently, more breakthroughs are imminent in the nearest future. From the State House, Musbah Danwahab, NTA News.
What could be a total overhaul and paradigm shift in the workings of the country's technical education are in sight, with convergence of professional bodies, experts, and apex body in the engineering field presented a document of Memorandum of Understanding with the Tertiary Education Fund for intervention in the areas of technical, industrial, vocational, and entrepreneurship training. Now, the Nigerian Academy of Engineering, Nigerian Society of Engineers, and Council for the Regulations of Engineering in Nigeria took the challenge to reposition the technical education and map out skills gap and identify the various areas that a country needs skills to support the profession.
The objective of TVET is very clear: to provide a critical mass of people and prepare them with skills and equip them for the workforce. The NSC strategic agenda has 5 pillars, and TVET comes under community impact.
The NBT that is also represented on our board has been leading our effort in this regard. They are reviewing curriculum, ensuring that our graduates of polytechnics don't only go with the certificates, but they must also have certification in a particular skill. We are partnering with the private sector, so even the informal sector, when you go to Kaduna, you have Panteka, or you go to Computer Village, we want to be able to ensure that these informal sectors that are doing this have the intellectual support, have the technical support that they require to produce to scale the manpower needs that we have or that we require to service the necessary sectors in our economy. This MOU signifies the framework for us to collaborate in multifaceted fields in the areas of TVET, and we shall going forward intensify efforts to ensure that we take the challenge.
That fund gave its nod to the engagement and believes that if properly implemented, it will put a stop to the importation of manpower, where the country will save huge money from the workers. And still talking education, in a bid to strengthen efforts at giving education and vocation trainings to all Nigerian women and girls, Ministry of Education is coming up with another initiative that will target girls in hard-to-reach locations across the country. This is coming from the Minister of State Education, Professor Suwaiba Ahmad, at the relaunch of Phase 2 of the Adolescent and Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment Agile Project Communication Campaign, a crucial step aimed at amplifying awareness, engage communities and drive societal change needed to sustain the shared vision. This will be done by partnering with educators, parents and media, a community stakeholder to disseminate information about the essence of the project.
The theme of this campaign, Madubi, meaning Miru in Hausa, symbolizes reflection and transformation. It reflects the aspiration of millions of girls across Nigeria and challenges us to confront societal norms that hinders their growth.
Over 1 million girls have graduated from the life skills also and digital literacy acquisition training. Schools under Agile intervention has also developed entrepreneurial skills by setting up a skilled business in fish pond, livestock as part of climate change, generating incomes which we saw during our last mission visit to Katsina and Borno State.
Since inception, the Agile project has achieved a remarkable milestone, improved infrastructure, provided conditional cash transfer to support families and deliver skills training to empower young girls and those that have dropped out of school, which the minister said must be sustained. A look at agric. The federal government, states and development partners are committing resources for the construction of more than 10,000 kilometers of rural roads aimed at enhancing food production and improving access to markets in farming communities. This initiative coincides with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security hosting the 8th edition of the World Bank's Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project Implementation Support Mission in Abuja. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
The federal government, state governments and development partners, including the World Bank, are collaboratively funding rural road projects across the country. The initiative, being executed under the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, aims to construct 10.07 thousand kilometers of roads in rural communities. Stakeholders involved in the project are convening for the 8th time to evaluate the progress achieved so far.
Your tireless efforts have been instrumental in advancing the project's objectives, ensuring that rural areas are not just seen as peripheries, but as vibrant hubs of economic activity and growth.
For us, RAMP it's really critical in our partnership with the country as the importance of this project to support food security, agricultural productivity.
Aliu Sabi Abdullahi, the Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, stated that to date, state governments have awarded contracts for the construction of 2,743 kilometers of roads, which are currently in various states of implementation.
Our commitment to transforming this sector is unwavering, particularly in fostering initiatives that enhance rural access and marketing of not only agricultural commodities, but moving people closer to life's necessities such as education, health, and other social amenities within our communities.
States that met the World Bank criteria will have access to $30 million, which will be disbursed over 2 years following project approval. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
In other news, Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, has emphasized the significance of Nasarawa State in advancing the nation's mining industry. He was speaking while receiving Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule and Minister of Defense Abubakar Baduru in his office. Alake affirmed that Nasarawa has been a formidable partner in harnessing the state's vast mineral potential for national development.
That have received the utmost cooperation and collaboration and very supportive efforts from the Ministry of Defense, from all this security architecture, and from the governor of Nasarawa State, because Nasarawa State is really very pivotal to our mineral development in Nigeria, simply because of the endowment. Lithium, for instance, is quite massive in Nasarawa State. So it's like a theater or epicenter of mining in Nigeria.
The minister has been doing a very good job driving Mr. President's agenda in the area of mining. There is no way you can be having mining activity and everything goes smooth without some sense of security challenge. So the essence of this is for us to put heads together, and to see what we can contribute to the minister as he manages all these various sites.
And the president has given us marching order to end insecurity in every part of our country by end of this year. And the Chief of Defense Staff, the NSA, and indeed their own team are working day and night to actualize that target. And as you have seen, we are putting pressure in almost all the theaters of operation. And indeed, mining activities has been lifted in Zamfara already. And this is part of the reason we are meeting today, to look at all areas where you have serious issues of security and to see how best we can secure those areas.
All right, our first stop will be Lagos as we join Hingino for some more reports.
Officers and men of the Nigerian Army have been charged to remain loyal and committed to constituted authority, be law-abiding and professional in the defense of the territorial integrity of the nation. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, gave the charge in his message to the Army social gathering at 243 Battalion, Army Barracks Ibereko, Badagry, Lagos. Diana Ajali completes the report.
Nigerian Army 243 Battalion Ibereko Barracks is located in the midst of the Egun people, who are predominantly fishermen and women. Bringing the West African social activities down to this community provided an opportunity for the Nigerian Army to not just socialize with their family and friends, but also with members of the community who turned out in their numbers, including royal fathers, to witness the celebration. The event also fostered the spirit of friendship and regimentation between personnel and the civilian population. The Chief of Army Staff, who was represented by the General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Farouk Mejinyawa, said the welfare of officers and men of the Nigerian Army remains a priority.
And this is in line with the command philosophy of the Chief of Army Staff
which is to consolidate the transformation of the Nigerian Army towards bequeathing a well-motivated and combat-ready force that can effectively discharge its constitutional responsibilities within a joint and multi-agency environment.
The commanding officer, 243 Battalion of the Nigerian Army, Colonel Mohammed Abdullahi Abdul, says the command will continue to do more in ensuring a safer and peaceful environment for all.
We are reminded of the inherent beauty in human interaction as we witness the power of fellowship and community. It is a unique opportunity to exchange ideas, insights, and laughter as we create lifelong memories together.
The gathering provided another opportunity for several cultural groups, the Thieves, Bachama people of Adamawa State, and many more, to showcase Nigeria's rich and diverse cultural heritage to the people of Badagry. In a unique way, both military and paramilitary proved their strengths in the tug of war. Officers who distinguished themselves in different areas of responsibility were honored in the course of the celebration. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Periodic medical checkup plays a significant role in improvement of life expectancy and proactive measures against terminal diseases. While medical experts recommend regular health checks and lifestyle modification, some Nigerians have not yet imbibed this culture. Joel Bubola has the report.
Just like vehicles need routine servicing, so also is the human body, with food being the major source of energy. Many untimely deaths could have been nipped in the bud, especially cancer and other cardiovascular ailments. Dr. Alero Robert says a comprehensive medical check should be done twice or annually.
Then there are some blood tests that we want to do, particularly with females of reproductive age. We want to know your hemoglobin because we're at your peak before you get pregnant. So we want you to do your some blood tests, your cholesterol level, if there are risk factors, there's a family history of hypertension or diabetes or overweight, we want to check that too. Then you have to do a dental checkup. We recommend that you do a dental checkup every 6 months throughout your life. You need to do an eye examination, even in your 20s, yes.
For men, it is important they check their prostate and other vital organs, and women should regularly check for cervical, breast, and ovarian cancer.
For men, it's important that they do a testicular self-examination. They learn to examine their own testicles, at least get an idea of what the normal looks like and feels like, so that when there are changes, you can pick them up very quickly. So for women, we also recommend that they start their self-breast examination.
For many Nigerians, it is business as usual, as they are still in the habit of waiting for emergency before doing what is necessary.
I don't think there's a particular reason. Maybe because I've never really had a reason to go to the hospital, so it never just crossed my mind to just do checkups.
And that was when I was kind of having some strange feelings on myself then.
Subscription to health insurance, medical experts believe, could save costs and reduce the burden of Medicare. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. Nationwide continues in Kaduna when we return from this break.
Welcome to Kaduna on Nationwide. Accurate information dissemination is identified as key to proper understanding of government's policies and enhancing economic growth. This position was pushed forward by experts at the workshop organized by NTA TV College in Kaduna for information officers from across the north. Siraj Abdullahi reports.
Government will be dragged to come and give road to that place. So it's not.
This is the last phase of the workshop for the northern states of information officers from the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, as the workshop ended in Kaduna for the Northwest information officers of the ministry to update their skills for effective service delivery. Rector, NTA TV College Judge Pauline Suleiman, and other critical stakeholders underscore the roles information officers play in projecting the image of government and stepping down government policies and programs for better understanding.
Information officers have just been there. Some of them, even when it comes to press releases, you see that it's not adequate enough. So because of that, they need to be trained for us to do our thing professionally.
I believe this workshop will go a long way in equipping the participants to understand their role as federal information officers, what is expected of them, because the current Minister of Information is quite up and doing and is reinvigorating the system to ensure that all aspects of information dissemination and management is being properly handled and taken care of.
While the resource persons hope to see participants leverage this opportunity, the participants pledge to render their services more efficiently.
People saddled with responsibility of disseminating government programs and policies are equipped to do it very effectively. So in essence, this training program is about enhancing performance.
This is something that officers really required in-house training to efficiently and effectively perform their duties.
The theme for the workshop is effective communication skills, information management, and public relation. In Kaduna, Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
It was a display of cultural heritage as units under the Infantry Corps Jaji Cantonment came in a relaxed atmosphere to unwind after a rigorous year of activities. Officers, both serving and retired, including soldiers, dined together under the annual event, WASA. Correspondent Haruna Muhammad tells us more.
West African Social Activities, WASA, is a cultural event that dates back to the days of the African Frontier Force during the Second World War. Officers, both serving and retired, as well as soldiers, come in a relaxed environment to wine and dine, marking the end of the rigorous activities while anticipating a productive and successful year ahead. WASA 2024 in Jaji Cantonment had various units participating as tapestries of cultural performances unfold, as well as tug of war between the Magajia and corps members, among other melodious songs in the spirit of joy and happiness. Guests of honor and former Infantry Corps Commander Major General Ahmed Mohammed retired reiterates WASA as a unifier of soldiers and their officers, where they unwind freely and make projection for better operations ahead.
I would like to remind you all on the need to uphold the Nigerian Army's core values of loyalty, self-service, courage.
As Commander Infantry Corps, I will push the Infantry Corps formations and units to work collectively and professionally to tackle our current security challenges.
Awards were presented to deserving personnel from various units of Jaji Cantonment who demonstrated dexterity, as well as guests, as a sign of appreciation to the epoch-making event. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
That is it on our package. From here, let's rejoin Ruth in our Abuja studios. Good evening.
Good evening, Salamatu. Good to see you. In a bid to address the challenge of vandalism of critical government infrastructure and public assets, all members of scrap metal dealers, popularly known as pantakers, will henceforth be profiled by security agencies before engaging in the business. This was the resolution at a meeting of the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council with security agencies and the executive members of Pantakers Association. Onoze Yakubo reports.
The worrisome trend of vandalism of critical government infrastructure and other public assets informed the stakeholders' engagement meeting. FCT Commissioner of Police and the Commander, FCT Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, as well as the Director, FCT Security Services Department, were all on the same page in condemning the activities of some members of Pantakers Union for aiding vandalism in the nation's capital.
Any operator found selling or storing them, this manhole, rail, track, street lights, will face immediate arrest. They will be prosecuted and they will lose their license finally to operate Pantaker.
You will not tell me that within your market, there is virtually no Pantaker market in Abuja, in the FCT, that we have not recovered one item of government or the other. What does that tell us about you? You are not doing the right thing. You are not helping the government.
You have to organize yourselves so that
whenever there are issues like this, it will not affect all of you. It is only those who create problems it will affect. But if you did not organize yourself, certainly the minister have the power to clamp down and say the business will not, and nothing can be done about it.
Representatives of the group expressed appreciation for the meeting and promised to collaborate with security agencies to ensure sanity in the business.
So you are following me, make you do the work, you do the job. Any flag you see the black man, something like that, I'll go put it on police.
Coordinator Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, Felix Obua, who chaired the meeting, says henceforth activities of scrap dealers will be regulated by profiling them, among other security measures, all in a bid to addressing the challenge.
That whatever from now henceforth, if you actually want to partner with government to stop the menace of these vandals, once you see something, you must say something. Stop buying illegal properties. Stop patronizing these vandals. Once we see any stolen item in your shop, you are assumed to be partaker of the product and you'll be arrested accordingly and be prosecuted.
He, however, notes that the profiling of members of partakers will commence immediately.
All right, let's join Onoze Yakubu now. He's at one of the locations to give us insight into the pressing matter. Onoze, we saw the stakeholders meeting. It's about time, you will say, and it's good that it's been a wake-up call to take proactive measures. But tell us, from your insight, what are your findings?
Thank you very much, Ruth Aguele. The more discovery and the worrisome trend of the activities of these vandals disturbing the government critical infrastructure is what really informed the stakeholder engagement meetings between the FCT administration, the security agencies, and the members and the dealers of these partakers markets. If you recall, not quite long, the security agencies uncovered and discovered many of these critical government infrastructure stolen by these vandals. And this is a worrisome trend for the FCT administration. And that's basically what informed the stakeholders engagement meeting. And the position the meeting took was first, to regulate their activities by profiling the members. The ban, the 2-week ban, has not been fully lifted until the profiling of all these members of the partaker business is being concluded. Those that have been profiled can go ahead with their business, but those yet to be profiled, we stay banned. That is the situation. At the meeting also, all the stakeholders agree on the same page, condemning the activities of these partaker operators, basically because they they give them free market for their businesses, which a situation they said will not be no longer tolerated.
Onoze, thank you so much for that update. And I'm sure, going by what you've gathered to share with us, a lot of things will change and we'll see that this vandalism is brought to the minimum. Thank you. All right, we'll turn our attention to other issues. The twin forces of corruption and dishonesty have remained long-time challenges to African nations, Nigeria inclusive. As part of its contributions to societal development, the Nigeria Bar Association says it is supporting the calls for ethical renewal, leveraging on its rules of professional conduct. This was at the sensitization program for legal practitioners in Abuja. Dele Atumbi reports.
Periodically, reports emerge in the media about an indicted corrupt individual or another, or an ethical breach in Nigeria. Whether true or false, legal practitioners are sometimes alleged to be complicit in these deals, which some senior lawyers say could be due to lawyers' unfamiliarity with their duties to the society under the rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners, which now incorporate anti-money laundering guidelines.
We live here with a better commitment, not only to adhere to the highest standards of professional conduct, but also to deploy our knowledge to make for a better society, where transactions coming out of Nigeria will not be viewed with suspicion, where lawyers will not be seen as aiders or abettors or participants in money laundering.
Issues such as misrepresentation of facts, these unethical practices pose a significant threat to the legal system and must be addressed before they undermine its foundation.
Next month, Nigeria will be due for a review of its compliance with the anti-corruption ethics in order to exit the global grey list of compromised countries.
The NBA should be in the lead of ensuring that the fight against money laundering is in force. Doing that is ensuring that every lawyer understands the rules of their professional conduct.
Although the NBA Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee oversees the rules of professional conduct, legal practitioners are calling for public support in rejecting corruption in the society. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Reports just reaching us says court remands former Executive Secretary, National Health Insurance Scheme, Usman Yusuf in Kuje Correctional Center over alleged 90 billion naira fraud. We'll bring you much details in subsequent bulletin. President Bola Tinubu congratulates Nigerian music sensation Temilade Okpeni, popularly known as Tems, on winning the Best African Music Performance Award at the 67th Annual Grammy Awards held in Los Angeles on Sunday night. On behalf of the entire nation, President Tinubu commends the singer for her unique artistry, which has brought pride to Nigeria on the global stage for the second time. President Tinubu congratulates other Nigerian artists nominated for this year's Grammy Award: Yemi Alade, Asake, Wizkid, Luje, Davido, and Burna Boy. In a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the President thanked these patriots for putting Nigeria on the global map of great achievers in the music industry and for showcasing the country's creative excellence. All right, we're heading to Ibadan now to join Kemi for our next set of reports.
And welcome to Ibadan. In an effort to encourage women farmers and boost food production across the country, 120 women from across Oyo State benefited from the Women Agricultural Support Program of the Renewed Hope Initiative. Blessing Orji tells us more.
The program is aimed at promoting a better life for families, especially women farmers, and also promotes agricultural development in the country. The Renewed Hope Initiative aligns with the broadened national agenda to strengthen the agricultural sector. The First Lady, who was represented by the wife of Oyo State Governor, Tamuna Minini Makinde, implored the women farmers being empowered to use the opportunity to expand their agricultural ventures, contribute to the local and national food production, and serve as role models for others aspiring to join the agricultural sector.
The program will be a sustainable one, and the government of the state will as well reciprocate and support what the federal government has started to be able to have it at a larger forum.
Some of the beneficiaries commended the efforts and commitment of the First Lady.
This is a laudable achievement for Nigerian women, especially the farmers. We really appreciate them because farming activities is very tedious and it's not easy task.
It's a way of enlightening us and remind us about what we need to know about agriculture, and also it's a way of encouraging us so that we can go ahead with the farming system that we are doing.
The launch in Ibadan is in fulfillment of the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu's promise to continue to promote women, particularly farmers, across the nation. In Ibadan, Blessing Oji, NTA News.
2 Division of the Nigerian Army says it will continue to explore steadfastness and professionalism to expand the scope of its success stories in the year 2025 and beyond. General Officer Commanding 2 Division Major General Obinna Onubogo stated this at the celebration of the year 2024 West Africa Social Activities WASA in the division. Correspondent Oyeyinka Omoli reports.
Officers and soldiers, as well as their families and friends, gathered in a relaxed atmosphere to rejoice and felicitate with one another for a successful end of year 2024 activities within the 2 Division of the Nigerian Army, covering about 7 states in Nigeria. General Officer Commanding 2 Division, Major General Obinna Onubogo, affirmed that the division successfully carried out Nigerian Army activities within its area of responsibility in conformity with the Nigerian Army Training Directive in the year under review and refreshed to redouble efforts in the tasks ahead in the new year 2025.
The division has conducted several operations to checkmate banditry, illegal mining, kidnapping, armed robbery, smuggling, impersonation, and other sundry crimes.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde represented lauded the importance of the Nigerian Army to overall peace and security within and outside Nigeria.
And the Nigerian Army is playing a pivotal role in these challenges to ward off the menace of criminality.
Showcasing diverse traditions from the north to the south, various dance groups entertained the gallant officers and soldiers, while 22 officers and soldiers, including 2 females, were awarded for their outstanding performances. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omoli, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Ruth, it's back to you.
Thank you for staying tuned. Timber lumbering is an age-long occupation and a lucrative enterprise where it serves domestic, industrial and commercial purposes. Lucrative as the enterprise may be, it is, however, a source of concern as millions of hectares of tree cover are lost to felling without corresponding replacement. Ebinimizi Timiola in this report takes a look at Bayelsa state government ban on forest activities in the state and the matters arising.
Huge deposit of crude oil and gas resources in Bayelsa. The state is also blessed with rich rainforest, where a large expanse of canopy of economic trees grows naturally. As such, timber lumbering activities are widely carried out. Hardwoods and softwoods are readily available for domestic, industrial, and commercial. It is, however, worrisome that trees are chopped down indiscriminately and little or no corresponding effort is made.
Before this time, there are a lot of trees, but this time, no more tree planting, no nothing like that. So each time you cut down one, the forest is devastated.
To safeguard the forest and to ensure proper coordination of economic activities in our forest, the Bayelsa state government, through the Ministry of Environment, has announced the immediate closure of forest activities, including timber logging, floating, and movement.
And we thought it wise to intensify the efforts of enforcing the directive of the government. We had to set up, task force committees, and it is based on that we have apprehended the truck you're seeing behind me. We've decided to cautiously conserve the forest for tomorrow and for issues relating to climate change and all that.
It affected us so much in our business because the year is just starting and we never expected this thing to occur. And now look at our woods. Some of them are even spoiling.
We don't know where we want to place our leg. And at this market, they say they manage. They train our children for university. In Yenakwa, Ebinimizi Timiola, NTA News.
All right, we join our correspondent now, Ebenimiz Timiola in Yanagua, to get more insight into the activities of this forest timber lumbering, actually. Ebenimi, going by the ban by the Bayelsa state government, what is the implementation like? Are people adhering to it?
Well, as we speak, all logging activities are at a halt, including movement of woods, floating or whatsoever is at a standstill. Defaulters are being apprehended by the task force as they've manned all the gateways in Bayelsa State. So the commissioner is emphatic on this decision that they have to coordinate economic activities in the Bayelsa State Forest in order to protect the ecosystem. There is also this issue of maybe an increase in price of timber because no distribution, everything is at a standstill. That's the situation in Bayelsa State. But moving forward, the Ministry of Environment, under the leadership of the Bayelsa State Commissioner, is engaging community leaders, loggers, dealers, marketers, transporters, and of course revenue collectors in a roundtable discussion towards getting to a point of understanding so that there will be a proper coordination of economic activities in Bayelsa State Forest and towards ensuring the protection of the ecosystem. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Ebenimi. We need to protect the ecosystem, and it is a collective responsibility. We head to Makurdi now to join Charles. He has some few reports for us. Charles?
A warm welcome to Makurdi. Let's begin with Benue at 49, where the Benue State Governor, Hyacinth Alia, has called on the people of the state to ponder on our collective adventure, which is filled with struggles, impediments, and triumphs, with a shared vision for a brighter future as the state marks 49 years since its creation in 1976. In a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Teso Kula, the Governor sued for collaborative determination for all key players, community leaders, traditional rulers, the business class, and the youths to build a future that mirrors our joint desires. The statement quotes the Governor as saying that under his administration, the state has undertaken reformative initiatives aimed at reawakening the fortunes of the state in the areas of infrastructure, environment, health, social development, agriculture, and agribusiness. Other areas of priority include justice and public order, humanitarian services, transportation, security of lives and property, education, staff welfare, economy, commerce, and wealth creation. He emphasized that these achievements are just the beginning, as these landmarks can be consolidated upon if the people of the state remain resolute to achieve the Benue project. Moving on, the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria has been encouraged to join active politics in order to bring about the needed change in governance. Governor Hyacinth Alia made the call when he hosted the North Central Zonal Arm of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in an interactive meeting. Elias Itiav reports.
The interactive meeting with the Christian Association of Nigeria North Central Zone at the instance of Governor Hyacinth Alia is to crossbreed ideas with the body of Christ on how best to influence governance and bring about the desired change for the overall good of society. The governor told the Christian community to be preachers of peace and unity, advocates of human capital development who must insist on what is right in the sight of God. He affirmed that all these can only be achieved when the people with a fear of God participate actively in politics of the nation to ensure good governance.
What benefit would it be when you just stand on the side complaining and every government and regime that comes in, you complain, then you drink water and settle and then keep complaining? Are you fulfilled? Be a player. It even places you on a better platform for you to bring social change.
For the leadership of CAN in the North Central region, they are committed to representing the church as ambassadors of not just the spiritual realm, but also for physical development. While appreciating the numerous achievements of the governor within his short time in office, the Khan leadership encouraged him to remain focused and hold firm his vision for the state, assuring the governor of their support in all ramifications.
Progress is only sustainable when public leaders, religious organizations, civil society, and private sector work together in synergy.
The event also had intercessory prayers for the governor, as well as goodwill messages from Khan leadership across the states in the North Central region and the Federal Capital Territory. In Makurdi, Elias Itiaf, NTA News.
That report rounds off our contribution from Makurdi. Ruth, is back to you.
Thank you, Charles. And for us, sports update will be next. And that concludes Nationwide. Thank you for your company. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.